So hi, my name is Cujo. Today I learned about two tragedies that happened in my family on the day that I'm recording this. And there's nothing to say about it other than it sucks. I'm not going to give the specific details, but I'm going to try to give some of the lessons I have and some of my own takeaways. Out of respect for the people involved, I just don't want to give out details. I think a general theme is an imbalanced life or things out of whack or imbalance that calls for you to look at them like can't be ignored forever. Maybe that's something obvious to state, but I always feel like the universe gives us signs in order to steer us away from going down paths that aren't meant for us. And it makes me think of the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. That's one of my more favorite books that I've read, and I think about that book a lot, but that book talks about signs that the universe gives you in order to go in the right direction that aren't really logical. Like in that book, I remember he talks about a crow flying overhead him that gives him an epiphany that this town is going to be attacked. He has no evidence to warn the town with, but he just has an insight from a crow, and it ends up being true that the insight from the crow that gave him an image of an attack happening on the town, and then he warned the people, and they were very skeptical of him, but ended up listening, and then the main character was correct. I personally knew one of these people that was involved in the tragedy, and from knowing them, I tried to show them love and light, and they had made the choice to not see that. But I don't necessarily know the type of person they was even able to see that from their upbringing, and it just sucks. Like, I really loved the person. The person is a very beautiful person, and I hope they can make it out of the tragedy that's befallen upon them. But I think our responsibility as people is to develop a psyche that is able to not think in terms of black and white, but very gray, be able to hold abstract ideas and not see really a correct answer to the abstract ideas, because I think that that's led me to be the person that's insightful and tries to move in like a calculated, very conscious way. I don't even like saying calculated. It makes me sound like cringe. It makes me sound like I'm some like Sigma male, and I definitely don't think I'm that. But in the tragedy that befallen these people realistically actually did the tragedy to themselves. Even if other people were involved, they put themselves in situations from their own thought loops that were heavily weighted in black and white, and it ended up catching up to them and biting them in the ass, I guess. And obviously, like, this is just my perspective. I think things probably in their realm is more complex, and I'm removed from the situation, so I realistically am not a good person to honestly just to be even talking outside of the events that happened or like in an abstract way about it, because my perspective is really limited when it comes to it. I think my most main takeaway would be the thing that served me the most in my life, and the thing that's made me really do the things that I choose to do, is questioning my own mind and realizing the nature of my mind is really flawed. Like, my mind is a really great tool in solving problems and trying to figure out how to just do things, but in terms of like life direction or trying to figure out the right thing to do, my mind is stupid. Like, my mind cannot figure that shit out, and it always ends up doing the wrong thing. And listening to what my heart is pulled to, I think maybe in terms of not externally has been like the best in terms of like a material gain or a financial gain, but I would take the fulfillment and the feeling of having a meaning and purpose and trying to better the world that I exist in, I think is infinitely more important than whatever six-figure income I could make or seven-figure income. Like, it just doesn't matter. But whenever I hear about this stuff, I have so much compassion for the people, because they're just like me. Like, they were just hurt and lost and didn't know better, like the same when I was younger. And I don't know, hopefully like this video that I'm making could at least help one person out there who's kind of stuck in their own thought loop and sees the world as black and white, like I am good and they are evil, or I am evil and they are good. Neither of these things are really true. Both parties, or if even parties is a thing, all sides are gray. There's no real black or white to a situation. It's like yin yang. There's always good in the bad and bad in the good. And that's just the nature of duality, is the man who realizes that in duality, both sides of duality need each other to exist. So if you can move with your duality, if you can implement both your dark sides and your light sides and become a fully integrated person and hold the grayness, then I think you're going to live a beautiful life. But anyway, these are just some raw thoughts from learning about these events happening in my family. I just want to show compassion and love for the people in my life, and whether they're blood or not, I just want to show my fellow human that I care about them, and that my well-being has come from other people. It has come from the same people who have hurt me and the same people who've helped me. All elements of humanity have contributed to the man that I am, both the evil people and the good people, and the evil in the good, and the good and the evil. But yeah, I think that's all I have. I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest, and I always have used this YouTube channel as kind of like a personal journal in potentially helping some other people out there. So, but I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this if you did. I love you very much. Hopefully it gave you some perspective or helped your life. And I'm going to head out. So, goodbye now.